What's happening, my friends? We're back inside the building once again here on Trickstar Radio. It's Breakfast with KXVU, and we are jumping into yet another episode of the Interview Hour. I'm really looking forward to today's one. It's someone who has guested on the show a couple of times in different formats. I think we've done a phone interview before. He's been in the building before as well, and I'm really excited to catch up with what he's got going on. We're here to talk about a brand new EP and everything else he's currently got in the works. Man like Nomine joins us. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm under the impression we've both been awake from very, very early today.
Yeah, 5 a.m. here. What about yourself?
I was 5:30 myself, so similar kind of brackets. Early morning gang, as per. That's what we love to hear. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, the new EP is very much the centerfold of what we're going to get into. But obviously, as at this point, I suppose a friend of the show, I'd be really kind of keen to catch up with what you've been kind of getting up to over the last year, because obviously it's been different for everyone. How have you found just everything in regards to the different avenues you work in?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I think from an artist perspective, I've made a lot of music, probably the most music I've made in many years, across the board, different genres. So that's been good. I don't think that was a result of COVID, though. I just think that was a conscious decision, because the past few years has been kind of primarily focused on building education and base and the business side of things. And first and foremost, I'm a DJ and a producer, so I wanted to make sure that stuff was still present, and so I made a conscious effort to do that pre-lockdown anyway. So in that sense, it's been good. I've been definitely active and making loads of music. From a business perspective, it's been okay. We're still here. Obviously, people would think, you're online, your education, surely that must be a great thing right now, because obviously education providers needing the extra support. People have more time on their hands, but as you know, not necessarily more money on their hands. So it's been kind of a double-edged sword, really, with regards to the business side of things. We've maintained for the most part, and there's been some kind of hairy moments, but we're still here, and we're still blessed to be able to support and educate. Obviously, we miss the face-to-face side of things with what we do with education and bass, and of course DJing, because I am a DJ before most other things. But yeah, I think it's been okay. I'm blessed enough to be able to run a business from home. Homeschooling was a bit of a thing, but my amazing partner, she took care of the majority of that, which was obviously tough for her for the most part, but I was there to support when I could. But yeah, man, it's been an interesting journey. But to be honest, compared to what most people have gone through and the suffering, the pain, I'm just truly blessed, and I feel for the devastation that has been caused, to be honest.
100%, man, 100%. And that's the thing. I think everyone throughout this situation has had a different sort of scenario, a different kind of setup. And obviously with that, I suppose with kind of online, to an extent, online education is something which, as you were saying, people kind of are under the impression that it's something that's kind of thrived in this environment. Have you had to make many changes to the just the general kind of output of the work, or have you found it's kind of naturally transitioned?
No, I mean, obviously we started off online. Well, we started off as an event, but when the company became a website, it was all online education. So we just continued to do what we did anyway. If anything, we've maybe made a few changes with how we present the content, making it a bit more kind of academic but still vocational, just tweaking the quality of what we present more in line with the classroom, but not fully that way, just a mixture of both industry and academic to create more of a engaging journey for the user and the learner. But other than that, we've just continued to do what we do. We've done a lot more online events, which has been great. We've partnered with the likes of Isotope, Ableton, and we've done these kind of free online masterclasses and feedback sessions. We've actually got one this evening we're taking over Dawson's music Facebook and YouTube to do a free beginners masterclass. But we've been doing a lot of that, which has been great. Some of the sessions we've had 200-300 people on a Zoom call, and it's been really good.
Wow.
From all over the world, Mexico, Netherlands, it's been amazing. So in that sense, we've been able to tap in and kind of just build a relationship with our community, which has been great.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I've got to say, congratulations, because getting that many people into a Zoom call for what is essentially still a kind of niche area of education is pretty phenomenal, I've got to say. So fair play, hats off to you and everyone involved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hats off, man. It's crazy to hear. And obviously, with that, I'm assuming keeping you very busy, you've still had the ability to, I suppose, to kind of get a lot of new music made and new music kind of put together. What sort of sounds have you been working on? Because if we were to look over the last couple of years of the kind of the shift, I suppose, in the electronic side of music here in the UK, especially on the underground spectrum, it's kind of crazy how much stuff has been bubbling away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've just done what I always do. I like to keep myself interested after all these years. You know, I started DJing 25 years ago and I've been producing for like 22, 23. So for me, I just need to keep challenging myself and keeping it interesting for me first and foremost, because I don't want to keep recreating the same old thing. Although I do like to have a signature sound. But yeah, I don't know. I'm working on a lot more drum and bass. I've revisited the Outrage project and it's kind of celebrating 20 years of Outrage, so I'm working on a nice interesting project for that, and I've been chipping away at a second project, a Nomine related project, which is more the kind of 140, 120, some 100 BPM stuff. But for me, just doing what I've been doing. I haven't been watching too closely what's been going on, mostly because I haven't been DJing, and obviously when you're DJing you have to keep on top of things and make sure you've got the music and you know what's going on. But yeah, I don't know. I at the beginning of lockdown I did quite a few live streams, DJ sets, and I just lost my motivation about halfway through, and since then I haven't really kept an eye too closely on what's been going on. But that's actually been quite good creatively as well, you know.
100%. No, I completely agree, and I think off the back of that, obviously, we are here to talk about a brand new EP, which is obviously in circulation currently. We kicked off with the Nerve remix of the leading track off it, and we're going to get into the actual leading track, which is of course Run From It. Now, I want to get a full background on this tune because it's absolutely crazy. How did this come together as a whole?
Thanks. A friend of mine, Derek Holder, he had this vision of just fusing a variety of different genres, namely kind of hip hop, grime, jungle, obviously dubsteps in there, and putting it to some animation, like superhero, kind of living out most childhood fantasies, I guess, of being a superhero. But yeah, just that really, he came to me and said, I've got this idea, would you be up for it? And yeah, we were looking for various MCs to feature, and then in the end it made sense for us to bring our old friend Kev Niner out, who was a founding member of Macabre Unit. He was next door but one to me for many, many years, and he was like my best friend for all my childhood. And then he went off on the grime journey and I went down the jungle drum and bass road, so it was nice to bring him back in. And then Digital and myself got in to do the track, and yeah, then to be honest, the remixes were an afterthought really, because the project was lingering around for so long. The animation obviously took some time, and then COVID, we were umming and ahhing about how and when to release it, and so we just said, look, why don't we just get some remixes as well? And obviously Nerve, Boylan, they've been a part of the camp for a minute anyway, so it just made sense to get those guys in. And then Digital and a friend of his from university done a more funked out kind of 4Hero vibe version. He did that with DK. But yeah, it was just, like I said, an idea of a friend who wanted to amalgamate these genres and to animation, and the result was the Run From It EP.
Amazing, man, and I completely agree. It's very just the way it's been put together. It is kind of mind blowing, and it's definitely a tune that the second I heard it, I was enthralled by it. So it's really, really exciting to get you on to actually talk about it. Obviously, this is the title track we're going to run in just a second. The original version, the unremixed one. We did run the Nerve remix to begin with, and we're going to be getting into the other remix a little bit later on in the day. Obviously, you just said there the remixes were a little bit of an afterthought. With an EP like this, is that often the case for you, or do you find that you sometimes very much have a remixer in mind?
I haven't really got a load of remixes done, to be honest. Certainly not on the label. But for this, it wasn't ever going to be a vinyl thing. Even that was an afterthought. It was just going to be the track to the animated video, and it was just going to be a digital-only release. So I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to vinyl. So, and then it just made sense to work with those closest to the label who had been active with the label, and that's what happened. But yeah, I mean, most things are a bit more kind of planned than that in that sense. So I might say, look, I want to get an EP done, and I'd like to approach this person or that person for a remix. But this one was kind of, in that sense, it was off the cuff, literally.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we're going to jump into this one right about now then. I'm really, really excited to get into it. It does go by the name of Run For It. We're live inside the building with the one they call Nomine. Out to everyone locking in this morning. It's been a fantastic start to the show, so don't go anywhere.
This is Breakfast with KXVU, bringing you their morning flavours on Trickstar Radio.
Trickstar Radio.